Welcome, everyone, to the Faithful to the Word Sermon Podcast. Today, we're going to use our AI commentators to dive into a recent sermon on Psalm 138. And this is such a powerful one because it gets right at a feeling we all know, that frustration of leaving things unfinished. And then it flips that on its head with this incredible idea of a God who always finishes what he starts.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You get that burst of excitement for a new project, a new goal, and then, well, life happens. It just fades away. It feels like we're all professional starters and amateur finishers.
Yeah, someone once called it the ache of unfinished things. And that just hits the nail on the head. It's that diet you started for a week, the room that's still half painted, all those New Year's resolutions that are just gathering dust. It almost seems like it's just part of the human condition. But what if it didn't have to be the whole story? Just think about that for a second. Seriously, what if the most important things, the really important things, came with a 100% completion guarantee? No doubt, no uncertainty. Just a sure thing.
Well, that's exactly the radical idea that this ancient song, Psalm 138, is built on. It's this song of pure thanksgiving that introduces a God who doesn't just start things, he finishes them every single time. And the whole thing rests on these three amazing pillars: God's promise, his presence, and his purpose.
All right, so let's jump into that first one, the promise. Right away, the psalm makes it clear that this confidence isn't based on how you're feeling that day or what's going on around you. Nope, it's grounded in the Word of God itself. This line right here, it's the absolute anchor for the whole psalm. The idea is that God has literally staked his reputation, his very name, on his promises. I mean, just let that sink in. If his word failed, his entire character would be on the line. He's put his promise right up there with his own name. And this confidence is built on two incredible Hebrew concepts that are just the bedrock of everything. First, you've got hesed. And this isn't just love like we think of it. It's a fierce, loyal, never-gonna-give-up kind of covenant love. Then you've got emet, which is this rock-solid, unwavering truth and faithfulness. You put those two together, you get an absolutely unbreakable foundation. So what's the big takeaway here? It means this promise isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea. The interpretation we're looking at leads to this incredible conclusion. God's own character is the guarantee behind his word. And for Christians, you see this promise perfectly wrapped up in the person of Jesus. So what happens when you really believe that? Well, you can't help but talk about it. It leads to this bold public confession of faith. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle. See how this promise isn't just an idea, but it becomes a real, felt presence? The psalmist doesn't leave God's faithfulness up in the clouds as a theory. No, it brings it right down to earth, describing what it feels like to experience it firsthand, especially when things get tough. Now, this part is fascinating. Check this out. When the psalmist cries out for help, notice what God does. He doesn't just snap his fingers and fix the external problem. No, the very first thing that changes is internal. God's answer starts by making him bold with strength in my soul. That's such a game-changing idea, isn't it? God often works on the person in the problem before he works on the problem itself. And this next verse, it presents us with this beautiful kind of mind-bending paradox. You've got this picture of God who is exalted, all-powerful, way up high above everything. So how can that same God be so intimately involved with the lowly, the humble, the small? The psalm doesn't shy away from this. It leans right into it. People have called this the paradox of the high God who stoops low. And it's really a core concept. On one hand, God is transcendent. He's in a high and holy place. But at the exact same time, he's immanent. He's right there with the humble and lowly. It's like the psalmist is saying that pride pushes God away, but humility is what invites him in. And this is just such a powerful mental picture. It completely reframes how we look at hard times. See, the psalmist isn't saying, I'll never have any trouble. Not at all. He's saying, even when I'm walking right through the middle of it, I know there's a greater power, God's hand, that's surrounding the trouble itself. That's a whole other level of security. And this all just builds and builds to this incredible climax. We've gone from the promise to the presence, and now we land on the purpose, the final, ultimate guarantee that God's work will be brought to perfection. This is it, the triumphant mic drop of the psalm. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's not, I hope so. It's a straight-up declaration of fact. The Lord will accomplish what concerns me. Period. And the logic behind this statement is just airtight. Let's break it down. First, you look at the verb accomplish. In the original Hebrew, it's not just to do something. It literally means to finish it, to perfect it, to bring it to completion. So why is this guaranteed? Step 2, the reason. It's not based on our performance. It's based entirely on God's hesed, that never-ending loyal love we talked about. And third, this idea just echoes so powerfully in the New Testament, right? With the promise that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. So you see, this isn't about being arrogant or having some kind of superhuman self-confidence. It's actually the exact opposite. It's what's called covenantal confidence. Your confidence isn't in yourself at all. It's 100% resting on the character and the promises of God. It's about his ability to finish the job, not yours. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. What's the final bottom line guarantee that this psalm is offering us? The analysis we've been walking through suggests that this entire psalm, everything it's been building towards, finds its final resolution in one single moment in history. The ultimate proof of God finishing his work, it's found in Jesus' final words from the cross, "It is finished." From this perspective, that statement is heaven's ultimate guarantee that every promise in this psalm holds true forever. And really, that's the key. This isn't a song of, "I hope so." It's a song of, "I know so." It's a declaration of absolute certainty. It's an anthem you can sing right in the middle of your own mess-ups and unfinished projects, celebrating a God whose very nature, whose character is to finish what he starts.
So that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. In a world that just feels defined by uncertainty and half-finished projects, what is the real power of believing in a guaranteed finished work? What does it mean to anchor your life not to your ability to finish, but to his? Well, thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. If this was helpful, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And for more resources, you can always visit our website at faithfultotheword.com. And if you feel like to support this ministry, you can find information there on how to make a donation. We'll see you next time.